What's up, guys? We got some more spoilers here. Today is Wednesday, July 8th. We have like over 20 cards to go over. We got some Akali stuff. We got some what seems to be some Jace support, which I'm excited about for this Ornn deck coming up, bro. I'm telling you the Ornn deck. No, okay, but we got what else do we got? We got a new Zed, Red Zed. Yeah, let's get it. And so yeah, stick around if you want to see some spoilers. Let's get it. All right, first card we got here is Ambessa Legend. Body Order, Matriarch of War. When you empower something else, empower me, and disempower me, and pay a power to and tap to ready a unit. Now, this could be a possible best of Aurora deck. Once again, it's orange. You know, Aurora exists, so there's that. Um, it's pretty decent with the new orange Jace, where every time it readies, you get a bonus effect, one of the three. So you can pull up with Jace when it readies on the turn, get Assault 2, and then take it to the battlefield, and then empower something, and then ready the Jace again, and then gank over with the 7 Might Jace. It's good with the Invested Champion unit, which we'll get into in a second. I think we need to see some more Empower cards actually to make it viable. Or more viable, I should say, if it isn't already. It's pretty decent colors, I would say, with Punch First and Call of the Week and Hidden Blade and stuff like that. The one thing that this can't do is do it multiple times in one turn, because you have to tap it. So you can't ready multiple units in one turn. Still pretty decent. I mean, for one power to ready a unit, it's better than the accelerate cost, which is one energy, one power most of the time. And yeah. Next we have Ambessa, yellow Ambessa, 5 energy for 5 might, and it has empower for 1 energy, 2 yellow power. It says, while empowered, I have Assault 2, and also while I'm empowered, it says, when I attack, kill an enemy unit with less might than me. Here, it says here with less might than me, so you can't kill anything at another battlefield, but still, this card is just busted. I mean, it's pretty good with, like, I don't know, just randomly Spellsonger. You can maybe kill 2 units, and then have Assault 4 while it's empowered. Kind of busted if you ever pull that off. But it's really good with the Ambessa Legend. Let's go back to that here, where you can just basically get this thing in play for and empower it for 6 energy, 3 power, and instantly come in with 7 might and kill a unit, and then probably take out any other units that are there with the 7 might. I mean, this card is pretty good at Ambessa, just right off the bat. We might see it in play for maybe a couple other scenarios in decks that run yellow. But yeah, I think this card could definitely see some play. Next up, we have Apprentice Mage, 3 might for 3 energy, and it has Empower 2. When I become empowered, predict 2, and while I'm empowered, I have +1 might. Honestly, it's a decent card. To get the empower triggers, maybe it could be good. It's really just an okay kind of filler unit in blue. I can't see this being too amazing. Maybe you could run it with Nocturne with the predict. If and because Mel is blue and purple, we'll see that later maybe. Yeah, so all in all, pretty average card. I mean, kind of investing the 2 energy later is pretty okay. You get to save on resources instead of playing maybe like another 2 might unit. But yeah, pretty okay card, I would say. Okay, next up we have Bakai Reaper, 3 energy, 1 power for a 4 might unit. It says, when I attack, you may pay 1 or recycle 1 red rune to give me Assault 2 this turn. Not sure if you can do this multiple times in a turn. That would be kind of interesting. This could be good with the red seals, to just kind of give it Assault 2 every turn, and you're really kind of getting an efficient unit if you do that and have the seal. This could be used in something like Renekton, where you want to have a lower amount of runes to get the Renekton off. Other than that, I think this is a pretty average unit. Probably won't see play unless you have some sort of deck that goes around with it, or you're playing red seals. But yeah, okay unit. Then we have Blade Twirler, 4 energy for 4 might. It says the first time I move each turn, choose a player, they burn one, which is they put the card from the top of the main deck into the trash. Right off the bat, I can tell that this kind of goes with Zed, where you want to have units in the trash so that you can banish them um, and use its ability. I can't really see this being too impactful in regular play. I mean, it's the first card where you can burn your opponent's card, so that's to be noted. Things that might put things on the top of the opponent's deck, you can just burn it if you when you move it on the first time. Um, Otherwise, I feel like you're going to be burning yourself for majority of it. Yeah, overall pretty okay card, probably to be used in like a specific deck that you want things in your trash. Otherwise probably won't see that much play. Okay, here we have a blue card for 6 energy. You get a 5 might unit, but it says when you play me, draw one. This might be, it's a dragon, by the way, so it might be okay in a dragon deck. Really not sure when you would use it outside of like maybe a dragon deck if you're getting cheap dragons out. Um, it's really not that great. Stats wise, I mean, drawing a card is pretty okay, not amazing. Can't see really this being used as just like a regular card in any sort of deck. Other than maybe a dragon deck. So yeah, probably won't see much play in competitive. Next we have Dame the Despoiler. 5 energy for 5 might. It's an empower 5 and 1 power. Um, it says when empowered, when I attack or defend, choose a unit here. Increase my might to its might this turn. Then give me +1 this turn. Honestly, I'm on the fence about this card. I mean, it wins every single combat it goes into just right off the bat. I mean, you can choose your opponent's unit, you can choose your unit if you're defending, but I mean, right off the bat, it just wins every single combat that it gets into without any external cards, without any outside play from just the showdown. Really not that bad. I think the 10 power or the 10 energy 1 power is pretty steep to get it going. But if you're in an empower deck, maybe you run one or two of these to just kind of maybe it's even a sideboard card to just kind of get over some big units that your opponent might have every time and make them interact. Um, can't really see this being played outside of like an empower deck or decks that really are slow, and you can get to this sort of end game status where in the game where you have the 10 energy 1 power over a set of 2 turns, or if you do it in 1 turn. But yeah, I can't really see this being played too much. Okay, big reveal here, boys. We got Zed's signature spell, Death Mark, for 2 energy and a power. It says burn 3 and then play a Shadow Clone unit. You can play this unit anywhere, it seems. So you can play it at a battlefield if you have units or in your base. But it also has flow for 1 energy, 2 power. So you can get 2 Shadow Clone units out for 3 energy, 3 power. Kind of steep, but you get to burn 6 and probably get your Zed online. But yeah. Um, Honestly, this is I don't really know how the shadow clones are going to play out. I mean, for the shadow clones to work, you have to banish a unit from your trash and it gives it assault 4 this turn. Um Honestly, not that bad. I guess it creates like 4 might right off the bat for 2 energy 1 power. Pretty good. That's for next turn obviously, and then you can do it the turn after that for 1 energy 2 power. But having a constant stream of 4 might units coming in when banishing a unit every time from your trash could be pretty. I mean, obviously that's good, but it's going to require a lot of upkeep where you're going to have to manage your trash efficiently and have units in there. Which could end up being you have just a 0 might shadow clone unit on your base or on a battlefield or something, and it just can't banish anything to give it assault 4. Um, and yeah, that's obviously worst case scenario. I still think this card is pretty good. You see at least 2 in a Zed deck just because it has burn 3, which you want to see. to get things in your trash for Fizz and maybe Cannon, Purple Cannon. Um, but yeah, this card's definitely going to see some play. I think it could be a little bit of a sleeper as well. Yeah, excited to see the red Zed. We'll get up here in a second. Next, we have another signature spell, Dominus, by from Renekton. 4 energy, just no power, which is kind of actually could help a lot. And it's an action spell, and it says this turn double a unit's might and give it two power to ready me. Now this can be used multiple times in a turn, so you can go in with a unit, ready it, go back into another battlefield, or just ready it at a battlefield, come back, ready it again, and go into the other battlefield. I don't know when you'd use that. Four power is a pretty steep cost, but you can ready this thing twice in one turn. And doubling the might is also pretty handy when you're doing this, just to get that 8th point or 9th point with aspirants. This is definitely going to see some play. It's good with Renekton itself because you can deal 2 to each unit at every battlefield you go into. Obviously, with when you're sacrificing two runes like this, or recycling 2 runes like this, it's going to help out with the Renekton's text where it says you need to have 4 or less runes. This is definitely going to see some play in Renekton decks 100%. It's going to have some little bit of shenanigans with being able to ready things twice. And it's in Fury Body, so it has access to things like Punch First. You could double a Punch First if you really want to spend the runes. And you can even hit the orange Jace and ready it, double that might, ready it again and give it ganking or assault 2 or yeah. I think this is definitely going to see some play. We'll see how it pans out in the next meta here. All right, we're getting some gear here. We're getting some gear, so hopefully, I want to see Jace thrive here. I want to see Jace pop off. We have a 2 energy unit, blue gear. It says it's called Hex Tech Formula. It says this enters exhausted and tap it to empower another gear. So already we have empowered gear being confirmed here. We'll see what the other gear actually do. This could be a good card. This could be a terrible card. We really have no idea. With blue Jace, you can obviously ready this again to a power 2 things in one turn and another gear. Power 2 gears a turn. Really, I don't know what that's going to entail. Maybe you can spend some empowers to draw cards, or spend some empowers to I don't know, move a unit or something. Could be good. We'll have to see the other cards to get a feel on this, I think. Next up, we have another gear, body gear called Jagged Cutlass. 3 energy, 1 equip cost, 1 power equip cost. It says it gives +2, and it says I can't be moved by enemy spells and abilities. Maybe a sideboard card for against specific decks, if against like Diana or Charms or I don't know, Fey Folk. I really can't see this seeing much play in competitive. 3 energy for 2 might is not that bad, I suppose, but it's not. If it was 3 energy 3 might, I think it would see a lot more play, just having that power kick, that might kick. But yeah, overall, I think this is kind of a bad card, to be honest. Next up, we have a order spell with reaction. It's called Key Barrier for 2 energy, 1 power. It says choose a unit, prevent the next 7 damage that would be dealt to it this turn. So this is actually a pretty hard counter to like all red decks that run removal, because it just soaks up the damage. They try to Falling Star a 6 might unit. I mean, you just play this Key Barrier and it just completely nullifies the entire spell. It's good if you want to hold. He comes in with a unit. You use Key Barrier, and he can't kill your unit, so he gets recalled to base. I mean, it's a pretty like low key spell. Like you wouldn't really see it coming, I don't think, in most decks, unless it's obviously a Shen deck, um, where you actually want to hold. We'll see what other cards come out with the Shen that make it want to hold cards, but overall, this seems like a pretty good counter to red decks and anything that's trying to trample over your units and trying to get that conquer off the battlefield there. Next up, we got Kinku Lifeblade. 4 energy for 4 might, which is pretty standard. It has Empower 2 energy, and says while empowered, I have +1 in ganking. Really an okay card. It's not incredible. It's okay. I'd say above average. It's an above average card. Maybe like on a power scale, like maybe 5, 6 out of 10, something like that. Um, Not really any synergy with other decks other than having to empower something and getting some sort of trigger off the empower. Doubt this will see much play. If it's in your draft, then yeah, you should probably take it. It's like a decent body for with ganking. You can just go back and forth. So yeah. And now we have Kenan's signature spell confirmed that you draw the card that you pick and you don't play it, which makes it a lot better because you can play it whenever you want in this case. Look at the top 3 cards in your main deck. You may choose a card from among them and draw it, put the rest in your trash with flow 2 and 1 power. Flow for 2 and 1 power. This card is definitely going to be 3 of in every single Kennen deck that you ever see. Yeah, just a really good card. Next up, we have Mel Legend. I'm not exactly sure where this came from, but as you can see, Runes and Rift had this on their Twitter page, so I just kind of screenshotted it. And the rough translation is whenever you empower another card, empower me, and then disempower me and tap to give a unit -2 might this turn. Really not that impactful, I don't think. I mean, you could probably use it here and there during a game. You know, with Blue Mel, you're giving an extra -1 on everything if it's empowered. Um, Really not that impactful, I don't think, for like most decks. You'd have to build like a deck around the empowerment, obviously. The -2 might, I mean, it negates a Yi maybe, or I don't know. It's really nothing stands out in this case. But the colors are pretty fun. You might see Alan ZQ playing a deck like this maybe if Diana somehow falls off, which I doubt it will. But yeah, cool to see the legend come out though. Next, we have another reaction spell. This one is 1 energy, 1 power, called Mesmerize. And it's in blue, and it says choose 1. Return a friendly unit to its owner's hand, or give an enemy unit -2 this turn. I think this card could actually see some play. Returning a friendly unit at reaction speed is pretty decent. You know, you can bounce units that are being conquered on, or that are being hit with a spell to kill it. And then -2, it's just versatile. It's just a versatile card. You can use it in like most situations if it's on their turn and they're attacking, or if it's on your turn and you're attacking. Really not a bad spell. I could definitely see it seeing some play in some blue decks. Next, we have an interesting card called Olporo. Not a gear this time, but it's for 2 energy. You get a 4 might unit, but you have to pay attention to the text. It says, I can't be played on your first, second, or third turns. So you really probably don't want to keep this in your opening hand because it's just a dead card for 3 turns. But if you're later down the line and you're drawing cards and this is just an efficient unit to get out, maybe you have some Stellacorn shenanigans and you're just drawing cards and you want to get as much might on the unit on the battlefield as possible, or in your base as possible, then you can just pump these guys out. I can't really see this seeing too much play. It's an okay card. Obviously, it's better for a mid-rangey type of a strategy where you're getting to mid-range and you're just trying to pump out as much might on the board as possible. But yeah. Next up, we have it's not an Akali spell, but it does have Akali in the photo, in the card art. It's a 3 energy, 1 power fury spell, red. It says ready a unit and give it assault 3 this turn. And it also has flow for 3 energy and 1 power, which is the same as its regular cost. And you can ready again with and to banish it and from your trash. I think this card could actually be really good with the flow cost. Readying units is always appreciated, and assault 3 is just a bonus. Um, I mean, there's other cards that can ready units for 1 power, 1 energy, but it doesn't give it assault 3. Um, yeah, I could definitely see this seeing some play. It's just an efficient card, I think, with the added flow. If it didn't have flow, it would not be as efficient. But I think having this in your trash could actually mean the difference between maybe scoring a couple extra points a game or not. So I think this could actually see some play in some tricky Akali decks. Yeah. Next up, we have our second battlefield that we're covering so far, Piltover Forge. It says, while you control this battlefield, the first friendly gear activated ability played each turn costs 1 energy less. I think this also is for equip costs, but obviously this is going to be in a gear heavy deck. So hopefully we get some good gears. Really holding out for those gears for this Ornn deck that's coming up in my mind here. It's all up here. Um, but yeah, pretty okay battlefield. Obviously it could only benefit one side potentially if they're running empowering gears. Yeah, pretty okay battlefield. I can't imagine this being too overpowered. Here we have another gear, empowerable gear, 3 energy. It says to empower it, you just tap it, you exhaust it, and then disempower this for 1 energy, exhaust it, and you draw 1. So basically, you're drawing a card every second turn. Really not bad for like a grindy type of strategy where you're just grinding out your opponent and just running them out of cards and eventually just like overrunning them on the board. Um, it goes good with the other gear that says tap me to empower something. So you could, with the two of them both on the battlefield, you can draw a card every turn for 1 energy. Pretty, which is really good. But I mean, to have both on the battlefield at the same time, you have to invest 5 energy. Um, but yeah, pretty. I mean, okay card, maybe good with Blue Jays. You could have some Blue Jay shenanigans. Um, I can't really see this card being too impactful just yet. We'll see what other kind of gear love we're getting in this set. But yeah, pretty cool card nonetheless. Grindy card. Next up, we have another battlefield, Sandswept Tomb. Each spell that chooses 1 or more friendly units here that are friendly, it costs 1 less power. I don't know any cards that this would really like benefit from, or like any decks that this would really benefit from. Overall, pretty neutral battlefield. I can't imagine this being game breaking in any way. Um, it's pretty like okay, and maybe I don't know. I really have no idea. Um, can't even think of any cards that this would really help out that much. It would have to have, action if you're attacking, or maybe with the key burst spell. Yeah, I really key barrier. I mean, uh, this would cost 1 less. Yeah, maybe for key barrier it would be good. To just try to hold things, but I really can't see much that would be used for this battlefield. We'll have to see what other cards come out, I suppose. Okay, next up we have a tricky card. I don't know how much play this is going to see, but it's definitely going to be tricky. It's definitely going to have some shenanigans. It's called Shady Spectacles. For 4 energy, it's a yellow gear. It's for the equip cost of 1 energy, 1 power. It says, as this is attached to a unit, choose another friendly unit. The equipped unit becomes a copy of that unit for as long as this is attached to it. It gives 0 might, but I mean, you basically just copy another unit on your battlefield, another friendly unit on your battlefield, and that could just lead to some kind of crazy shenanigans in yellow decks. I can't think of any instance where it would be too crazy right now off the top of my head, But having two, I don't know, Azirs, or having two Rek'Sais, or it could be pretty okay. For four energy, copying like a larger unit would be pretty beneficial, like a Baron or something. Um, yeah, but I wonder if it gets death knell triggers along with it. Is really, it could be decent in LeBlanc maybe. If you copy some like a Karthus or something. I don't know. It's kind of, the four energy is kind of steep to just copy something, and plus you have to play the energy and the power to equip it. But yeah, this card is pretty tricky. We'll see how it pans out with the cards that are coming out. If there's anything really that you want to copy, or maybe even if you can empower a copy card like this, it's just gonna create a lot of shenanigans. I think a lot of rulings might have to come through with this card to clarify some of the things that we're thinking of here. Next up, we have Yellow Shen. Order Shen. For 6 and 2 yellow power, you get a 7 might unit with shield 1, and it says, when I hold, if there is exactly one other unit you control here, you score 1 point. Pretty specific on exactly when you score the 1 point. I mean, he can just send in a smaller unit and trade with it if it's a smaller unit, or and to deny the point, or things of that nature, to try to deny the one other unit requirement for this point to be gained. Unless the Shen signature spell is like a reaction where you can just play a unit at your beginning phase or something. Really not totally sure um, what this is going to be coming of here. Can't see it being too good. Can't see it being too good. It's a steep cost for only a 7 might unit with shield 1. Yeah, Shen's kind of disappointing me right now, not gonna lie. Zed, though, on the other hand, his brother, I believe, is looking really cool, really fun to play. We'll see how Shen plays out with the signature spell when it comes out. Next up, we have an uncommon. It's called Tomb Raider Barbara. It's kind of a lizard looking thing. It's 4 energy for 4 might. It says, when you play me, if you control 7 or more runes, choose an enemy gear. If it's empowered, disempower it. Otherwise, kill it. So not good against decks that have gear that are empowered, because obviously you would just disempower it instead of killing it. Probably going to want the rake, disarming rake instead of this for most case scenarios, I would imagine. Even though this is a 4 might unit and doesn't use any power, you still have to meet the requirement of 7 or more runes, and it can't be an empowered gear. So I don't know how many gear we're going to have that's empowered. We already have a couple, but yeah, it kind of limits its functionality here a little bit. You might see it in a couple sideboards or something, but I say this barely gets any play. Next, we have a interesting card in the body domain. It's a 7 energy 1 power unit, or not unit, but it's a spell. It says, look at the top 5 cards of your main deck. You may banish a unit or gear from among them and play it, reducing its energy cost by 5. Recycle the rest, and then you may do this, empower it. So obviously, empowering it is going to be the biggest, I think, bonus of this. If there's big gear that costs 5 or more that you can empower, and the empower cost is massive, obviously this is going to be huge. Yeah, I do like big spells, big impactful spells. This one, obviously, it's not defiable. Um, it looks like you can just pull an Aurora out of the top 5 cards of your deck as well, and just play that for 5 less. I mean, it would be a huge cost, power wise, rune wise, but you could just pull it out of the top 5 cards of your deck if that's something you're looking for. We hate those Aurora decks, but if they get a little bit of support and then they just ban Aurora, it might just be better in the long run. So I can't really see this seeing too much play. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting card, and I'm glad that we have it. Next up, we have a very interesting card. I think this card is busted beyond belief. It's Akali's signature spell, Secret Art Shuriken Flip. This is roughly translated using AI. Basically, it's the same art. It's just the AI just translated the Chinese text to English, and it says deal 2 damage to up to one enemy unit on a battlefield, then move an allied unit, and it has flow for 3 energy and 1 power. So all right off the bat, this thing is just busted with like Stellacorn or anything that has like movement triggers. I don't. Stellacorn might even get a ban just because this card exists. Like, we'll see. I doubt it, but Stellacorn will be a really nice addition to the Akali decks. Obviously, this works with red Akali that we've seen, where you're doing damage. You're doing 3 damage on the way in, then you activate Akali action to bring it back. That's 4 damage, and then you play Secret Art Shuriken Flip, and you go back in. That's 5 damage, and yeah, and plus the 2 damage, that's 7 damage. So it really can add up, I think, with the movement. All in all, it's a really cool card. I like movement cards, and this is just another addition to the Akali toolbox, I think. Yeah. And last but not least, we have Red Zed. This is another Chinese card that was released. I roughly translated it using AI, but this is the artwork for it. 4 energy, 1 power for a 4 might unit. Zed Forbidden Shadow. You may choose to discard a card from your hand as an additional cost to play me. When you play me, if the additional cost is played, summon 1 shadow clone. So basically, just play a shadow clone. I don't know if this is to base or to a battlefield. It's like I said, it's a rough translation, but the shadow clone, they are pretty interesting. It's say banish a unit from your trash if you do give it assault 4. So if you're discarding a card, you're putting 8 might on the battlefield for the next turn. If you want to banish a unit for 4 might or 4 power, 4 energy, sorry, and 1 power, and discarding a card, really not bad. And you can also fuel the shadow clone by discarding a unit, maybe a small unit that you have that you want to just pitch, and then you can remove it later to fuel the assault triggers with the shadow clones. I think Purple Zed might be better, but yeah, that's it for the spoilers. I think yeah, but we'll see how it pans out. That's all we got for today, boys. Over 20 cards. We had Zed signature, Renekton signature, Mel legend, Ambessa legend, and Akali signature. All huge, huge spells. I think Akali's looking the best right now. Zed's looking really good. Kennen, obviously really good. Yeah, there's some powerful cards that came out today, and I think it's going to shape the meta as it unfolds. I think Cannon's definitely going to be a contender. The colors are just too busted. Zed is pretty strong colors. Akali is new colors. We'll see how it pans out, but the counters as well as the removal could be OP. We'll see how it pans out. Yeah.